This is the book of James, chapter 1. This is the book of James, chapter 5 and 1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the lords of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, shalom. I'm the brother Dhamma Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and I want to really highlight this fourth chapter where it says, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is if you kept back by fraud, crieth. Hey, and this is something that you're seeing heavily in the earth right now, is the downtrodden, the so-called the slaves, the workers, the everyday, working class American here in Babylon the Great is crying, man. People are complaining about, the cost of living. People are complaining about how, the rich are getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. The middle class is being, wiped out as well. And you're seeing a lot of these billionaires and trillionaires. You're seeing more trillionaires and billionaires now more than ever. Because basically, these elites are getting ready to pull the plug on America. And basically, they're liquidating this place, and the rich are buying up everything that they can and increasing their wealth dramatically, while the everyday average citizen here is complaining and groaning and getting wiped out. They're being priced out of their homes. They're being, people can't afford to pay their car payments. They can't afford to pay their insurance. They can't afford to pay their mortgage. People are getting letters in the mail, and out of nowhere, their mortgages are going up $300-400. A lot of the elderly people who are living on Social Security and living on their retirement have to go back to work, and they're old as hell. The inflation is through the roof, and people are starting to realize that that these elites, these politicians, these mayors, a lot of these the owners of Google, all these tech billionaires are continuously getting richer, and they're not really giving a damn about the every average day person. And then on top of that, a lot of these American citizens are realizing that AI is getting ready to take their jobs and basically, leave people, without a job and basically, out on their ass. And people are rising up. The people are pissed. The people are crying. The people are fed up. And it's going to eventually get to the point to where that these people are going to eventually lose it, And as these people are feeling that their politicians and Donald Trump don't give a fuck about these American people, that his whole Make America Great Again was a sham and a lie just to get him reelected so that he can get in office and kiss the ass and do every single will and whim of the tiny tops, the 1948ers, and he's putting America last, is causing these people to be pissed off. And the people are crying. The people are fed up. And now these people, like I did a lesson earlier this week where a lot of these people are saying that pretty much the only answers to, the government and the politicians and the powers that be, is to get violent with them. And now people are, you're about to see massive protests against artificial intelligence, these data centers, AI, because now people are coming to the realization that it's getting ready to be weaponized and used against them, and to basically turn every human being into, to make the everyday average worker, whether they're in a warehouse, whether they're blue collar, white collar, to become obsolete. See? And now the people are voicing their anger and their and their their anger against these tech oligarchs, against the super rich, these elites, these billionaires, these trillionaires, man. And this is why a lot of these billionaires and trillionaires are building bunkers, man, because they know eventually, once they pull the plug on Babylon the Great, once these people get the rug pulled from under them, and these people come to the realization that this was all part of the agenda of these international banker and these elites to basically to pull the plug on America and to bankrupt every American and to tighten and to put everybody in a situation of being wiped out. Hey, these people are gonna respond with anger and with violence, and it's gonna be a lot of tar and feathering and pitchforks in hands, and it's basically gonna be a great turmoil and civil war within this country. All right, and I was reading these articles, man. I got two really from the Wall Street Journal, right? Which I can't read it because these fucking faggots always want you to fucking subscribe to their bullshit, which I'm not going to do. But it says the AI backlash has tech executives fearing for their lives. You see? It says violent threats against AI companies are rising and spilling over into the real world security incidents. And this is why, you're about to start seeing a lot of these executive, a lot of these millionaires, trillionaires, from whatever walks of life, whether they're in the medical field, the pharmaceutical company executives, a lot of these tech oligarchs, these tech executives, these Bill Gates, the Elon Musk's of the world, the Bill Gates, a lot of these politicians, these mayors, and even the president. Hey, eventually these people are going to start getting violent upon them, especially when they feel like they've been duped, especially when they feel like they're not getting a fair shake, and when they really realize that all of their faith and trust in America, was all in vain, and they've been played and duped. These people are going to go absolutely buck wild, man. And we're just only seeing the beginning of it. And don't be surprised in the future. Oh, I said this the other day. Now you're about to start seeing a lot of these data centers being having security, not by humans, but by these humanoid robots and by those robotic dogs with rifles and semi-automatic rifles mounted on their backs pretty soon. You see? Hey, and this is just all signs that we're at the end and this man is through. Hey, and these people are going to eventually lose it, man. And we're already seeing small glimpses of it. But listen to this a little bit. It says a security guard at Anthropic rushed to stop the man sneaking into the lobby of the world's most valuable AI startup. The man had entered by following closely behind a badge swiping employee. He showed the guard an envelope marked with the name of a top Anthropic executive. The executive was going to be killed, he told the guard, and he needed to warn someone, according to records of the April 15 incident viewed by the Wall Street Journal. The encounter, which took place 5 days after an attempted firebombing of OpenAI Chief Executive Officer Sam Altman's house, ended without violence or an arrest, but for executive at Anthropic and across the artificial intelligence industry, the threat was far from over. It says in recent months, mounting opposition to AI has given a rise to a surge of violent rhetoric, threats against people and property, and a serious attempt at harm. The phenomenon has executives at tech companies, large and small, reconsidering their personal security arrangements and how they talk about their products to a public that is increasingly wary of the technology and the societal changes it is ushering in. You see, because people are starting to realize that this AI is not going to be used to help these people. It's not going to be used to make, to clean up the planet, to make things more convenient. People are starting to realize that this AI is going to be used to replace these people, replace them, take their jobs, move them out of the workforce, and basically leave everybody dependent and, dependent and begging and wiped out. You see, people are going to look at this AI as competition and eventually as an enemy, and it's going to look at these executives and the creator of AI as the enemy against mankind. And like I said, it's going to trickle down to the president, to the politicians, to these mayors, because a lot of these mayors and governors of these cities are greenlighting these data centers to be erected in all these different places in America. And everybody is catching wind of how these data centers cause cancer, how they're harmful to the environment, how they're going to suck up all the water, that is going to lead to mass amount of water shortages, destroying of the environment. It's going to keep people all up all night with the constant humming and the buzzing. Now they're trying to pay people to put little mini data centers inside of their homes. You know, and and as of this weekend, I think a couple of days on July 18th, there's going to be a huge across all 51 states of America protest against these data centers, man. You see, and who are they going to blame? These executives, these politicians, these mayors. And it's going to eventually lead to all hell breaking loose and violence and war and civil war and division, you know, and people going to want to eventually. You got a lot of people right now opting out of AI. They're opting out of technology. People want flip phones now. People want to start, weaning themselves off of constant artificial intelligence and technology use in general. You see, and you got this guy Trump who's brought in all these, he's greenlit all these AI, artificial intelligent executives, man. That's the main priority right now in America. And the American people are being phased out, and people are going to get angry. People are going to get violent. People are going to want blood pretty soon. Look at this. A march in San Francisco against AI earlier this month. It says police in San Francisco have responded to several threats against employees of Anthropic and OpenAI, according to records viewed by the Journal. The Texas man who allegedly threw an incendiary device at Altman's house was charged with attempted murder and attempted arson. Officers found a manifesto advocating for the killing of AI CEOs and investors. He pleaded not guilty, you see? And eventually they're going to start getting a lot of these investors. Pretty soon, the American people are going to turn on anybody that they find out had any dealings, any investment, and any, dealing with this artificial intelligence and AI. You see, and these type of incidents are only going to increase, man. Hey, and this is why these devils in Trump administration, they're trying to put laws in the books to call anybody that speaks against AI and artificial intelligence dissident or an extremist. Because they know eventually people are going to go ape shit. People are going to revolt against this shit. It's going to be a war fought against artificial intelligence and AI, See, look at this. It says, the same month, a man who applied for a job at Anthropic using a fake name allegedly posted a threat to skin the children of a company's employees as punishment for what he alleged was the theft of his work, according to police records, you see. And you got hundreds of thousands of people who are already getting laid off because of AI. And these are a lot of those, high-paying tech jobs. A lot of lawyers are going to get laid off. A lot of, high-paying individuals are going to get laid off. And who are they going to blame? They're going to blame AI and these executives for using AI to take our jobs, man, to say that we're not good enough, that AI is better, that we're no longer needed. People are going to eventually lose it, man. You see, it says the volume of digital threats targeting AI chiefs and data centers grew sevenfold between late February and May. Hey, and that's only going to increase as these devils push more and more with this technology and with these systems, with these data centers, with digital IDs, et cetera, et cetera. It says, according to LifeRaft, which scans social media and the dark web for Fortune 100 companies, what has surprised me is how bad it's gotten over just a short period of time. It says, aware of the backlash, some tech leaders have begun traveling with armed guards. Hey, and pretty soon it's going to be like the movie Elysium. They're going to be traveling with humanoid robots, those phantom robots, man, as security, because pretty soon they're not going to be able to trust people. They're not going to be able to trust human guards because you just never know it. That guy posing as your security could secretly hate you because, AI then, fucked over somebody that he knows or fucked him over himself. It says some stay quiet on the Anthropic out to avoid attention. Industry leaders who have been issued dire warnings about the risk of AI poses to the workforce have pivoted to taking up its potential benefits. And that's why a lot of these guys, these techies, the Bill Gates, the Zuckerbergs, and these guys, this is why they're all building bunkers all around the world, because they know eventually shit's gonna get ill out here, man. And that eventually these people are gonna want blood. They're gonna want to come after these people, man. You see? Let me get this. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 15. It says, I'll start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. You see, and what's one of the reasons people are going to be fighting? Because of the wide gap between the have and the have-nots. Part of this is going to be, the people against these tech executives and artificial intelligence and these tech companies and data centers, man. People are going to be fighting against these against artificial intelligence and these data centers, and eventually it's going to be they're going to be fighting against the government. You're going to have a civil war in this country as well. We can already see. I was just thinking earlier, that whole situation with that Mississippi, what's that guy named Nolan, bro. I really believe, I'm just saying that, speaking as a man, that all this information that's coming out, how they were disrespecting the young boy's body. They burned him. They beat the shit out of the body. They sent it back to wherever it was going disrespectfully, face down. And I believe that Esau's going to really try to spike this race riot by letting those little Edomites that killed that Jake get off. And I feel like they're going to use that to spark outrage, to let that be the new Rodney King riot type of situation. So it can be what? Black against white. They're going to be using that as a way to bring more division to this society, so they can bring the order out of the chaos. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. What's that? Arising against the government and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see? And you're already seeing a glimpse of this with this whole article that I'm reading. The backlash against these AI tech executives. Now they're fearing for their lives, man. You see? There's another article I found. Look at this one. It says, AI executives add personal security as backlash turns violent. You see, look, this Data Center Watch found organized opposition groups roughly doubled from 396 at the end of 2025 to 833 by the end of March. Opponents blocked or delayed at least 75 data center projects worth about 130 billion in the first quarter. And it's only a matter of time before they start physically attacking these data centers and throwing incendiary devices at these different data centers, man. Like I said, you got a worldwide protest, a statewide protest against data centers on the 18th this month. You see? And these things are only going to intensify, man, especially as things get worse, especially when they really pull the plug. You see? And like I said, why do you think these assholes are building these bunkers, man? Because they know eventually, it's going to get to that level, to where it's going to continue to spiral out of control. But at the end of the day, it's all part of biblical prophecy, man. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And you see, and a lot of these data centers and them, ruining people's lives and people being wiped out and being deemed useless is going to lead to, desperation setting in, So, hey, man, and these things are only going to get more and more intensified as we get closer into the end, as these AI data centers get more cemented and the infrastructure gets more built up and they're up and running. It's just going to lead to more of the it's going to lead to more perplexity, man, more a division, more anger. And even Klaus Schwab said that in that WF. You got to prepare for a more angrier world. And why are the people who are going to be angry? Because of the shit that we see happening now. They can't afford to live. The affordability crisis, which is not being met. And now you have Trump just attack Iran, which is going to bring more higher gas prices. Now they're talking about shutting down the Strait of Hormuz completely, and that's going to lead to a lack of goods and services moving through those shipping lanes, which is only going to bring more hell and more pain to the American economy, to the global economy, and to the pockets of to all of us here in America, man. And people are going to eventually, people are already on the edge. These people are already unhinged, man. You got people saying, when is enough going to be enough, you American people? You see all these Edomites crashing out all over social media in their cars, screaming, talking about, you're not angry enough, And remember, all these Americans got guns, man. They got pistols, and hey, the Lord's he's gonna have these people eventually snap, man, and it's gonna lead to all these beautiful prophecies coming to pass, and it's gonna lead to this place getting torn. This place is gonna get torn up, man, and we're gonna see the Egyptian against the Egyptian. We're gonna see James the 5th chapter. We're gonna see that second Ezra the 15th chapter and the 16th chapter come to pass, man, and it's gonna lead to all hell and bedlam. The time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to lead to Esau coming down with great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. It's going to eventually lead to the end of this place, man. And Lord willing, we're part of the elect, so we can be preserved and delivered from all of these, these evil days which are ahead. Because hey, they're all going to come, and this shit is only going to intensify, man. So hey, man, Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. All right, Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, Shalom.